Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and a very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Fasim Mehta. I'm live here from Islamabad, where just moments ago the weather was so lovely. It was raining, and it is so humid and hot now. But we have a very interesting conversation happening today, which I'm sure will keep you occupied for the next 1 hour or so. And you can ask lots of interesting questions because I have here the opportunity to interview the person who has been through many triumphs and failures in creating what is known as a global brand today. And it is my honor to today welcome once again Amir Ibrahim, the CEO of Jazz, to join us. And I am also accompanied by Aisha Sarvari, the Director of Comms and Sustainability at Jazz. Welcome, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Fasi.
So, before we actually delve into the conversation about this very interesting topic today, I would like you all to know a little more about Amir. Today, the guy that you see that we are now going to be talking to, who heads what is known as Jazz, he has been the CEO since 2016 and Pakistan's largest telecom internet company with 62 million subscribers. Jazz is also one of the country's largest business. Prior to his current role, Amir has held several leadership positions in VEON, Telenor Group, Ford Motor Company, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Mobilink. But one way or the other, he has been part of this Mobilink family for almost 25 years, where he created something which has taken over the name of the company and a big brand today, Jazz. So in this career, he's worked across various countries and industries, pretty diverse across telecom, finance, automotives. He's done his bachelor's in business accounting from the University of Texas, UT at Austin. He also holds an MBA from IMT in Switzerland and an AMP diploma from the famous Harvard Business School. And being a very instrumental member of the team that helped transform Jazz from a legacy telecom operator to being the country's largest preferred digital lifestyle player. And this, the term that I use, the transformation to a digital lifestyle player, आज की सारी कहानी इसके अंदर जो है ना वो हम मतलब यूं समझें कि इसके अंदर वो सारी absorb हो गया, समा गई है कि ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कैसे होती है, pivoting पे हम बात करेंगे. I would also like to mention here that amongst many other successes and accolades and achievements of Jazz, there is also this thing that I'm sure you all know, aware of, that today Jazz is known for offering the fastest mobile broadband, digital financial services through Jazz Cash to over 8 million customers, and content and services ranging from music, TV to gaming and insurance. I know Amir will be thinking कि shuru hi ho gaya and it can go on, but I won't waste much time. And let's jump on to this great topic. बात है आज आर्ट ऑफ पिविटिंग की. अक्सर लोग पूछते हैं पिविट है क्या पिविट सिर्फ स्टार्टअप्स करते हैं, पिविट सिर्फ बड़े बिजनेसेस करते हैं. तो कहते हैं कि चेंज मस्ट रिमेन अनचेंज. कुदरत का कानून है और कुदरत का ये कानून कारोबार में क्यों ना हो, जबकि आपके कस्टमर्स की प्रेफरेंसेस, बिजनेसेस, प्रॉफिट्स, यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स सब बदल रहा है. So let me first start with the very basic. For Amir, what does pivoting mean?
Fasi, thank you very much. First of all, always glad to be here talking, to various participants at National Incubation Center, and getting more comfortable with the new normal where we're behind computer screens. But like this is what we think is the new reality. So always good to be here with brighter minds than myself. Pivoting, and by the way, sorry, thank you very much for a rather generous and elaborate introduction. Sometimes when you listen to it yourself, you think you've actually achieved, but you're still a learner, especially when you see some of the other members who are joining in, like my old friend and mentor, Zohair is on the call, so is Pervez, who has switched off his video. It's always good to see these people because they've been part of my journey, and I've learned a number of things from them. And I think we continue to learn. Pivoting, मेरा ख्याल है यार बड़े थोड़ा सा fancy word हो जाता है, लेकिन pivoting is just course correction. You start on doing something and then you realize that it's either not working or it's taking you a little bit longer, and you decide, in college, you decide to change your majors. So maybe my first pivot was when I started studying computer science, and maybe a couple of years later, I realized this is not the right thing for me. And then I started doing accounting, and I graduated from a bachelor's in accounting. And then I started my first job at Mobilink in finance. And then a couple of years later, I said, maybe I want to do something else and get closer to business, which is where marketing and business development was. So in hindsight, I can look back and call it a slightly fancier name, which is called pivoting, more so in the entrepreneurial world. But essentially, it is just course correction. Like you start your journey, you have a certain destination in mind, and then either you change the destination or you change the course on how you get to the destination. I think that to me is a very simplistic way of describing pivoting. Yeah.
Thank you, आमिर. बड़ी अच्छी बात की कि हर एक की एक मंजिल है, कभी मंजिल बदलती है और कभी रास्ता. और इसी तरह से अभी आपने थोड़ा सा ये हाईलाइट किया कि आपने फाइनेंस में ज्वाइन किया, फिर आपने भी अपनी रास्ता बदला. कोई मंजिल तो थी माइंड में, या फिर मंजिल बदली जिस पे आप बिजनेस से मार्केटिंग में गए, and you mentioned that now and then mashallah strategic leadership and now heading such a company. हम बिजनेस पे तो आते हैं कि बिजनेस कैसे पिवट करता है, वो क्या चीजें हैं जो एक बिजनेस एग्जीक्यूटिव को और उसकी टीम को देखनी पड़ती हैं, which can enable you that this is the right time to pivot, this is the time to change. But how as an individual one can do that? What is it that you look up to? That what is kind of a feedback? Is it someone who was talking to you? How was this epiphany coming that I need to do this now? Yeah, you were fed up of numbers, finances, you wanted to just give it a shot at marketing. What was it?
I think it's a combination of internal voice and trusted sources of guidance. So, like many other people who graduate from business school or undergraduate or whatever else, they have some, at times, rather foolish notions about this is what I want my career to be. This is where I want to be 10 years from now. Or I read an article in Fortune magazine and I want to see myself on a cover 25 years down the road, or whatever it may be. And there isn't really a right or a wrong answer. I think eventually the better pivots are those where the voice is coming from within you, because that's where the true passion comes from. If you end up succeeding and achieving something because other people drew out the path for you, then you are perhaps succeeding, but you are doing it for the wrong reasons. So जो असली pivot है, at least in a personal life or personal career के लिहाज से, वो voice होनी चाहिए जो आपके अंदर से निकले. और आप ज़रूर ट्रस्टेड सोर्सेज को कंसल्ट करें. शुरू में जिस वक्त हम अपने करियर्स शुरू करते हैं या पढ़ाई भी शुरू करना चाहते थे, अपने ज़्यादातर यही होता था कि एटलीस्ट व्हेन आई वाज ग्रोइंग अप, the father and mother would guide us कि भाई आपने डॉक्टर बनना है, इंजीनियर बनना है, अकाउंटेंट बनना है. मेरे ज़माने में सिर्फ 3 चॉइसेस होनी थी. अब चॉइसेस बढ़ती गई हैं, बट अभी भी बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं, although I think the kids today are a lot more self-aware, there is a plethora of choices and they are more opinionated in good ways, where they decide for themselves what they want to do. And I think that's the right way to go ahead in life, that you do something that you strongly and passionately feel about. I think that's the true north for an individual. Of course, we are not static as individuals, and it's also very difficult for a person, again, let's start the journey at the age of 18, because I know that you've got some young audiences also. It's sometimes difficult at the age of 18 to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. So you select a major, and there are different schooling systems around the world. Sometimes you have to declare what you want to study. If you go with the British system at the age of 18 and you want to be either a doctor or an accountant, or you may go to an American education system where the first 2 years are liberal arts and you are going to experiment a little bit. But eventually at some stage or the other, a person decides on themselves कि उन्होंने करना क्या है. As you then meander through your career, you will find out whether you are in a good organization, whether you're enjoying, whether you're getting rewarded, or reward के 2-3 criteria होते हैं. हम अपनी जिंदगी में reward को at least earlier parts of our career, we would think that the reward is only financial reward and a promotion. But reward होता है कि आपकी intellectual nourishment कैसी है, आपकी managerial capability बढ़ रही है कि नहीं, आपका जो leadership skill set है वो develop हो रहा है कि नहीं. और अगर इन चीज़ों को आप देखते हैं कि शायद ये चीज़ें कमज़ोर हैं, तो फिर एक पिवट करने की एक ज़रूरत पड़ जाती है. उसमें ये हो सकता है कि भाई मैं शायद गलत कंपनी के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ, गलत मैनेजर के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ, मैं सीख नहीं रहा, या ये जो डिसिप्लिन है, ओके मैंने सप्लाई चेन में काम करना शुरू किया है, लेकिन सप्लाई चेन इज जस्ट गोइंग टू बी अ सपोर्ट सिस्टम इन दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई वांट टू गेट टू द फ्रंट एंड. सो आप अपना कोर्स चेंज करके ऐसी जगहों पे जाते हैं. आई फेल्ट when I started my career in Mobilink in 1994, not that I had anything for or against finance. I had studied accounting. I started my career over there. I got wonderful opportunities. And then at some stage, I felt that I want to get closer to pricing, and pricing kind of fell in the marketing world. So then I did a little bit of a pivot, and then eventually got closer to business development and branding and advertising and everything else that is generally entailed under the umbrella of marketing. But कोई ऐसे predefined notions नहीं होने चाहिए. I think it's basically कि आपको nourishment किधर मिल रही है, और वो nourishment जो है that is a little bit multi-dimensional, not just because you got a promotion after 2 years or not. It's basically whether you're being challenged and whether you think you're adding back. So that's my journey in that particular first 5 years of my career in Mobilink, from 94 to, let's say, 99.
Excellent. Very rightly said. Self accountability is very important. अंदर की आवाज है जो आपको guide करे, and you keep experimenting. But the ability to learn and to adapt and to evolve is not only centered with an individual but also an organization. In this case, such a large organization. So I believe there are some slides for the audience, and if you'd like to talk about, and then I will go further into more details and examples of the business world about how many organizations around the world have pivoted. In the case of Jazz, the advice for startups. जो लोग इस वक्त online हमें सुन रहे हैं, मेरी आप सबसे request, and I'll say this in English as well, that it's a humble request. If you have any questions, for those of you watching us online on Facebook, or those of you who are here on Zoom, please do write that in the comment section on Facebook or here in the Q&A section. We are looking at those questions. We'll ask them towards the end of the discussion. Thank you. Gio, Amir, you would...
Yeah, we can go through a slide deck. The first slide generally is more about Jazz, which was, till a few years ago called Mobilink. Just a little bit of an introduction to some of the audience members who perhaps think that any startup can succeed to become a large organization. The probabilities are generally less. I was there along with a couple of members in the audience today when we started this company in August, almost exactly 26 years ago. The first call was made on 6th of August in 1994 with a very humble office, but with very bright dreams and stellar ambitions. So we started this journey 26 years ago, and today, it's a remarkable achievement that this company is now amongst the largest in terms of revenue in Pakistan, not just highlighting only the numbers, but every third Pakistani is one way or another connected or influenced by what Jazz does. Whether our retail distribution, we have pivoted into Jazz Cash, which is something that I will talk about in a little while. So it's a large organization, but it was not always a large organization. And when we look at similar companies that started around the same time around the world, they've become behemoths, whether it was Google in 1999 or 2000, they started Facebook in 2005. So sometimes when we think about overnight successes, yes, there are companies like TikToks, which just enter the planet with a $30 billion valuation within a year and a half. But most of the companies and their successes are not overnight in that sense. So a lot of hard work is required, a lot of perseverance and persistence is required, a lot of humility is required, because you make a lot of mistakes over the years. So I just wanted to share this about Jazz and Mobilink on where we started from 26 years ago. And it's, both a sense of pride and different types of emotions that I was part of that journey at that time. I've left Mobilink to pursue other opportunities in my life 2 or 3 times. I've come back here again. So to be able to stitch together different stints that I've had at Mobilink and still be here, it's obviously a very emotionally gratifying reward. We are a large company, not just only in the context of mobile telecommunications, but as I said, we're also ventured into mobile financial services, have more than 8 million individuals who use our banking and payment facilities every month. We're a large backbone provider through fiber. And I think in terms of the data that we process, we are amongst the largest. I don't know how much data does Nadra process, but I would say it's the largest data processing companies. And eventually, when I talk about, we started as a telecom company, then now we are pivoting towards a technology company. And our journey is going to be more towards a data company. Because now telecommunications is becoming very commoditized. So वो चीजें जो हैं एक दूसरे से फोन पे बात करनी है कि और मोबाइल फोन से बात करने के लिए थी 25 साल 26 साल पहले बड़ा जरूरी था. अब वो चीजें जो हैं ऐसी हैं जो कि आप taken for granted ले लेते हैं. Our communications is also changing because we don't always talk. We have found other ways of communicating. We started communicating through texts, then we have started communicating through emojis. We have started communicating non-verbally a lot. So the essence of our communications over these 26 years have also changed. So this is just a snapshot of our journey and where we are today. I've got a couple of other slides in terms of, if I go just 2 more slides down the road, the topic today is about pivoting. So Ali, if you could just take us down 2 more slides on Jazz pivoting. This is how did Jazz pivot? So
next.
I think जो एक मेन चीज होती है वो ये होता है कि एक नेचुरल एवोल्यूशन क्या है और एक पिवटिंग चीज क्या है. सो कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी आती है और कुछ चीजें आप नेचुरली अडॉप्ट करते हो. I think that is perhaps I wouldn't say a weaker definition of pivot, but I would call that as a natural evolution. So हमारे केस में एक बड़ा एक conscious decision था, and I don't think we have actually put in the example of Jazz Cash over here or not, but we realized that in Pakistan, people will have access to a mobile phone much quicker than they will have access to a bank. So जो हमने eliminate किया था absence of communication वो जल्दी कर दिया था, लेकिन absence of financial inclusion जल्दी नहीं कर सके. So अब जो हमारे पास सबसे बड़ी opportunity है, and hopefully not too distant in the future, we will create Jazz Cash into a unicorn, which is a company with $1 billion valuation, and we're not far from that. And what we identified was that in Pakistan, there are more than 18% of our adults who have never really used or never been included in a formal financial institution. Yet all of those people do have a mobile phone. So the trick was, how do we get customers and people to start using their mobile phone as a quasi bank account? और starting point था कि आप ये पेमेंट्स के थ्रू करेंगे, आपने बिल की अदायगी करनी है, लेकिन उसके बाद आप अपने मोबाइल अकाउंट को डेवलप करते जाते हैं. अब उसके अंदर आपके सेविंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स भी आ सकते हैं, आपकी पेमेंट्स, ट्रांजैक्शंस, इंश्योरेंसेस, ये सारी की सारी चीजें उसके अंदर कैप्चर हो जाती हैं. सो ये एक ऐसी चीज है जिसको हम इंशाल्लाह स्पिन ऑफ करेंगे इनटू अ फुल फ्लेज्ड कंपनी, और उसकी यही हमारी एक इंटेंशन है कि इसको आप देख सकें कि दिस इज नाउ pivoting, but also going into an adjacency. So in this particular aspect, Jazz doesn't stop being a telecom thing, but we started something as a feature. और ये pivots के बारे में कहते हैं कि आपका जो feature है वो आपका product बन जाता है. So एक ये ऐसी opportunity थी Jazz के अंदर कि हमने एक feature को जिसमें सिर्फ basic transaction और पेमेंट करनी थी, उसको हमने एक full fledged business बना दिया. Some people can call it कि you exploited an adjacency. I think that a significant part of our businesses has pivoted into something else. There are many other pivots which are shown on the screen over here. The other one is obviously that we have stopped being just a traditional voice-centered company and become more of an internet company. अच्छा, इंटरनेट कंपनी में 2 कंपोनेंट्स हैं. आपको पता है कि पाकिस्तान में इस वक्त 80 मिलियन कस्टमर्स हैं 170 मिलियन से, जो कि इंटरनेट इस्तेमाल करते हैं. And Jazz accounts for almost half of those internet customers, right? About 40 million of them are on Jazz platform. So for us, the thing is, we recognized that this thing is changing, like our need to communicate is evolving. So we started investing a lot more in what is called broadband technologies. फाइबर की पहली स्लाइड पे मैंने बताया था कि हमारा फाइबर नेटवर्क कितना बड़ा है, लेकिन अब जितनी भी हमारी इन्वेस्टमेंट होती है, हम ये सोचते हैं कि हमारे कस्टमर्स की इवॉल्विंग नीड्स और डिमांड्स फ्यूचर में क्या होंगी. And that is when the transition from 2G old-fashioned Nokia phones to smartphones happens. COVID was basically a great example that spurred us into thinking about the future, because आपकी education भी online हो जाएगी, आपकी financial transactions भी online हो रही हैं, आपका work from home भी हो रहा है. So we need a much more robust digital infrastructure. So this is a little bit of an example in the telecom world of pivoting. But the deeper example of this thing, because some people may also say कि यार this is just natural evolution. So deeper pivot ये होता है जिस तरह मैंने आपको बताया कि एक telecom company से हम technology पे बने और technology से फिर data पे जाते हैं. But let me just talk about a little bit on technology. We experiment, and people who are familiar with the telecom world, they know कि हम value added services को पार्टनर्स के साथ एक्सप्लॉइट करते हैं, कोई रिंग बैक टोन होती है, कोई बाकी सारी चीजें होती हैं. वी ऑफर अ लॉट ऑफ फीचर्स टू आवर कस्टमर्स, और उन फीचर से फिर हमें पता चलता है कि कौन सी चीज टिक करती है और कौन सी चीज बढ़ने वाली है. सो नाउ व्हाट वी आर गोइंग थ्रू एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग इज, और आपने शुरू के इंट्रोडक्शन में भी बताया कि जैज टीवी एक ऐसी चीज है जो प्रोडक्ट है. आपने देखा कि नेटफ्लिक्स और बाकी सारे लोगों जो कंपनीज हैं उनके एक बहुत बड़ी वीडियो चॉइस दे दी है. लोगों के attention patterns change हो रहे हैं. They see different things on a small screen and their attention spans are reducing. So our pivoting over here in video on demand is not to become another Netflix, nor only to become a dumb bit pipe on which Netflix is being shown, but actually to develop both Jazz TV and also bring in that content which actually is just the right size for a small screen. So we're going into production with partners where a 6-minute video can be shown. So we have a collaboration which is called Dekho, Jazz Dekho. Then similarly in music, we are now experimenting with Bajao, which is also going to accelerate creation of Pakistani music. So इस pivoting में we are not trying to be another Spotify. क्योंकि म्यूजिक बिजनेस में सबसे बड़ी जो आपकी कॉस्ट होती है वो आपका कंटेंट खरीदना होता है. और मेरा नहीं ख्याल कि पाकिस्तान की जो आवाम है वो इस वक्त नेसेसरली वही म्यूजिक देखना सुनना चाहती है जो कि बाकी दुनिया में है, या चाहे वो एडेल हो या कोई और हो जिसके ऊपर हमें यूनिवर्सल या सोनी को ज्यादा पैसे देने पड़ेंगे. हमें अपने डेमोग्राफिक्स को देखना पड़ता है. मे बी देयर इज अ ह्यूज डिमांड फॉर सराइकी म्यूजिक. So how do we go down at a grassroots level and create something which is perhaps even slightly more down to earth compared to Coke Studio, but it creates that Saraiki music for which there are a number of people who want to pay and listen to. So that is our initiative when it comes to music. These are the areas where we are now perhaps pivoting, and where the feature starts becoming a little bit of a product. And just like Alphabet, where they actually started first as Google, which was a search engine thing, and then they acquired YouTube, but then they started developing a lot of other businesses. There are about 9 of their businesses are more than 1 billion users a month, right? जो माउस हम डिस्कस करते हैं. सो यू नो लाइक अगर आप सर्च से ले लें, यूट्यूब देख लें, मैप्स देख लें, गूगल ड्राइव देख लें, जीमेल देख लें, each one of them is a completely $1 billion company with 1 billion users. So यही हमने जर्नी जिस तरह गूगल की थी, from Google to Alphabet, we are also thinking about the same way when we talk about Jazz, and when we talk about the vision of Jazz 3.0, we actually want to go and start developing these small companies, which could be just ideas at this stage, but could become $1 billion businesses. And the first one of them, perhaps the one which is furthest ahead compared to the others, is Jazz Cash. But other bets, and this is not really a trade secret, because most of the telecoms around the world are thinking around the same thing. So they are betting on music. Jio Saavn, उन्होंने Saavn खरीदा और Jio के साथ उन्होंने बंद कर दिया. Many companies have gone into messaging, and that's what we also tried to do. We failed, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But these are the kind of things that we want to pivot to and learn from our experiences, because the basic चीज एक शायद sooner or later आपका सवाल होएगा कि when is the right time to pivot, right? अच्छा, pivot करने का वक्त तब आता है जब एक प्लेटो आप हिट कर जाते हैं. और जो टेलीकम्युनिकेशन इंडस्ट्री काफी ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्री है, 30-35 सालों से है, ये एक प्लेटो कर गई है. अगर हम पिवट ना करते और अभी तक आज हम वॉइस बेच रहे होते तो सारी दुनिया में तो वॉइस का रेवेन्यू खत्म होने लग गया है, डिक्लाइन पे आना शुरू हो गया है. ओटीटीज के ऊपर वॉइस चली गई है, कम्युनिकेशन पैटर्न्स चेंज हो गए हैं. सो ये बड़ा जरूरी होता है कि जब आप देखें कि आपके कस्टमर्स डिसएंगेज होने लग गए हैं और आप रिप्लेस होने लग गए हैं और आपकी टॉप लाइन ग्रोथ नहीं हो रही या आपकी कॉस्ट रिडिकुलसली आउट ऑफ प्रोपोर्शन जा रही है, दैट इज द राइट टाइम टू पिवट. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट वी थिंक अबाउट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट न्यू आइडियाज.
आपने बात की कि टाइमिंग बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, और मेरा इसमें एक सवाल है कि जैज को मोबाइलिंग के ज़माने से अब तक फर्स्ट मूवर एडवांटेज है बहुत चीज़ों पे, और यू हैव बीन द फर्स्ट इन द मार्केट इन मेनी थिंग्स दैट यू हैव डन. इज इट रियली द टाइमिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ नॉट जस्ट कि अभी नहीं किया तो हम लेट हो जाएंगे, फौरन पिवट करना है, या पिवट के दौरान यू इवॉल्व okay, let's experiment, let's fail, let's see, we learn, we move on, we do better. या नहीं इसको सोचो समझो plan करो test करो and then move into it and then launch. I don't want to risk the reputation. And I'm sure you've seen both sides of the spectrum. So would you like to share some thoughts on this?
Yeah. I think first mover advantage is perhaps a little bit more glamorized. In some businesses, it's vital. But you could also be an intelligent follower. In case of mobile telecommunications in Pakistan, Mobilink was not the first mover. There were companies like Paktel and Instaphone. They had slightly different technology, which was prone to being listened to. So it did not really have confidentiality of communication. Jazz was the first GSM company in Pakistan. और अब जब in hindsight मैं देखता हूँ उनमें से एक कंपनी खत्म हो गई थी Instaphone और एक और कंपनी थी 2008 में Paktel got acquired by China Mobile and they have been rebranded as Zong. But during these years from let's say 1994 to the middle of 2000s, Jazz and at that time Mobilink kept on growing faster compared to the others. और अब हमें लगता है कि हम incumbent operator थे. We were the ones which perhaps there are more customers, not only because we entered earlier, but because the loyalties and the first introduction to telecommunications came through Mobilink. So it was definitely an advantage, and it will be an advantage compared to somebody who enters. But in many other environments, I think it's a combination of two things. And when we talk about startups, there is definitely the idea, and then there is the execution of the idea. At least from a larger company perspective, I can tell you that the idea in itself has value, but it is the flawless execution of the idea that really separates you from your competitors. And I think the same thing would also happen in the entrepreneurial startup manner, because a lot of us perhaps at the same time think about similar things. What separates one company from the other is going to be how quickly are you coming up with a minimum viable product. So in that perspective, certainly the time to market is important. The first mover could be important. And I think the difference between a large organization and a startup would be that in large organizations, sometimes we waste too much time because we have bigger customers and their expectations, that we spend too much time going from 85% ready to 98% ready. Right? Whereas in a startup world, if you are 85% ready, I think perhaps you're already too late. I don't know what the right time is, but maybe if you're 70% ready with the product, that is when you want to go. And the beauty of a lot of these digital businesses is that you get what is called A/B testing done very quickly. And you can find out whether a certain approach is working or whether you need to change it. And you can test it in a small group and give a different experience to a smaller subsection of customers and a different one to the others, and see how they both respond. So you keep on improvising your product as you go along. And I think that's the beauty of the startup, especially in the digital startup world. Bigger organizations don't have that luxury. I can't tomorrow offer a service, at least a traditional one, where I start charging customers and then I come back and say, sorry, yaar, ye theek nahi chal raha tha. Uska fark hota hai. This is the advantage that some of the smaller companies have over larger behemoths.
एक और मेरा क्वेश्चन, बड़े क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं आपकी बड़ी अच्छी अच्छी बातों में, लेकिन before I jump and ask so many questions, would you like to present something else as well on the Jazz pivot regarding, I believe, one very important
there was a slide, a couple of
is,
slides further down.
Yeah.
If we can just go there and we can leave it at that. I think it's 2 slides further down.
Yeah.
So this is COVID. We can come back to it, but let's just go to a later slide further down. Yeah, we can just leave it over here, and then I can take your other questions and, you know.
Okay. So सबसे जो important चीज़ अभी आपने बताई कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी की तरफ ट्रांसफॉर्म करना, एक DFS कंपनी की तरफ ट्रांसफॉर्म करना, लाइफस्टाइल का हिस्सा बनना, शुरू में मैंने बात की, चाहे इंश्योरेंस है, चाहे हेल्थ है, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज है, all are catered through the palm right now. One click, all gets done. And then you mentioned Jazz TV and cashless and the huge potential for the unbanked to come on the financial inclusion platform. This all means lots of challenges. Lots of challenges because you being a leader, you have to focus on a lot of things. You have a strategy, you have a team, and many other goals and the bottom line also to take care of. What do you suggestion, be or plus aapka experience both, is the biggest of a challenge when deciding कि इतनी जगहों पे इवॉल्व होना है, इतनी जगहों को इवॉल्व होना है, और हमें एज अ लीडर आपको इन्वॉल्व भी होना है. So what is the challenge that you face?
Okay, so there are a huge number of opportunities. You have to figure out, especially for a larger company, you have to figure out that in this land of opportunities, which opportunities make sense for you. And then you can use different tools that help you prioritize different things. Like, is it close to your competency? Is it easy to execute? Does it create value? Does it create stickiness? And every company will have different criteria for selecting those things. But if you are basically going to be a mile wide and an inch deep, you will end up doing nothing. So while originally ideation ke lihaz se you need to think about a number of things, but having a clear strategy on where you want to go is also very useful. And then you pick up 3 or 4, especially from a larger company's perspective, areas or opportunities that you're going to say, well, I'm going to do something in this thing and I'm going to be really good at it. So rather than, also ran category and do about 10 different things, pick up 3 or 4 things that you're going to get known for and that you're going to do better than anybody else. And I think that's, if I were to use one example of a pivot that we tried to do and where we failed, about 3 years ago, we launched an app called Vion app. And that was supposed to be a super app, which basically was a messaging platform. And on top of that, it had intelligent messaging, self-care, integrated with JazzCash. So the idea was good because in the world where you're competing with WhatsApp, why would somebody come to an old-fashioned telco? So we spent a lot of money, spent a lot of time and energy into building this, let's just call it mother of all apps, or what is now these days called super app. I think at that time the term didn't even exist. But the idea was that this would be an app that people will communicate, they will get references, it would be a bit of Groupon, it would do couponing, it would do a whole bunch of other things. What we failed to do was that we were not great at anything. Yeah, we tried to do a number of things, but the basic thing would have been having a very stable messaging platform. We thought कि अगर हम सिर्फ messaging platform के ऊपर आएंगे तो हम WhatsApp के साथ नहीं compete कर सकेंगे. अगर WhatsApp के साथ compete नहीं किया तो why would somebody move over here? So too early we started adding other elements to it, but we ended up being, let's call it, none of the above. So our messaging platform wasn't as great or robust or intuitive as WhatsApp. So we found them difficult to be retained over there. And then when we added other things to it, like news and other things, which was ahead of its time, and we used a lot of intelligence, systems intelligence, where a telco and an OTT actually work together, that's a huge combination. But I think we failed because we were trying to do too many things. And that's why, when this minimum viable product thing is talked about, we needed to think about a minimum viable product. We created too complex a product. So that's an example of a good failure, not because the strategy was wrong, but the execution was poor. And that goes back to my earlier point कि हम strategy और execution में किस चीज को choose करना चाहिए.
बड़ी अच्छी बात है. Thank you. It's very nice of you that you are also sharing with us the failures and different challenges along the way. And I'm sure all of this forms as a very good solid learning base. कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि pivot तब करो जब ये last resort है. और हर business की अपनी strategy है. कुछ कहते हैं this is a good sound business strategy. If you want to survive, you continue to pivot. Some say that pivots can go bad. और बाज़ औक़ात लोग अपने failures को या इन चीज़ों को attribute करते हैं कि it was a pivot gone bad. And there are many researches that have been done. 17% so far there is businesses that were surveyed by Entrepreneur Incorporated said the same. My question to you is that, as you mentioned, that the timing is very important. And now you also mentioned, so the question is that, is it a last minute effort? When you're burning everything up, pivot karna zaruri hai? Yeah, you look at lots of things inside and outside the organization, or is it a mix of the two?
Okay, last minute, perhaps you're leaving too much for a brilliant 6 on the last ball of the match. Sensible businesses will go through a process where they're constantly reevaluating themselves. So nobody can take success for granted. I'm sure even today, Facebook and other big technology behemoths are also reassessing their thing. You know, Facebook is under attack from the likes of TikTok. So you can't be successful ad infinitum. You have to keep on investing time in your success, and you have to keep on asking those challenging questions. Is what am I offering still relevant or not? And companies which did not succeed, which pretty much ruled the world, are being extinct. And we have seen that in the telecommunications era. Companies like Nokia, BlackBerry, right? They failed to pivot. Kodak, IBM had to pivot. It survived. It was selling boxes and hardware. It started selling software and consulting. So ये ऐसी चीज नहीं होती कि आप बिल्कुल end पे आ जाएं और करने की कोशिश करें. और since I was just talking about and giving this example of BlackBerry, nobody could have lived without a BlackBerry in the mid 2000s and late 2000s, right? It was basically the essential communication tool. They had really good encryption, but they decided not to go beyond their device mentality. They should have actually licensed their communication services. And eventually when they tried to do that, WhatsApp had already started coming in. So आपको जो सवाल था कि जी as a last resort करना चाहिए, last resort में BlackBerry ने अपने आप को pivot करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन it was too late. You know, I don't know why I want to use cricket examples, but you can't wait to score 30 runs in the last over. You've got to be at the required run rate. And this is the business, you know, all businesses are under threat of disruption, whether they're going to be technologically disrupted or they're going to be disrupted by somebody with deeper pockets. So nobody sensible should really take success for granted. As they say, you're as good as your next game. अगर आप समझते हैं कि आपके पास कोई ऐसी यूनिक चीज है जो कोई कॉपी नहीं कर सकता, वो सही तरीका नहीं है.
थैंक यू. एक और क्वेश्चन मेरा इससे रेलेवेंट दोबारा आता है और उसमें कोविड का बहुत बड़ा किरदार है. पीपल से who was behind your digitalization? Is it your CTO? Is it your CDO? Or was it COVID? तो ये आजकल एक टर्म बहुत ज्यादा इस्तेमाल होना शुरू हो गया because COVID accelerated digitalization in Pakistan and across many other countries. And when we talk about pivot and use, I'm sure you've witnessed a huge surge on the data network as everyone went on to Zoom sessions. Everyone went on to conduct their classes online. Everyone went on to do their normal life, but everything online, ordering things online, teaching online, consulting with health practitioners online. And obviously those who were better prepared took a good advantage of this, and those who were not struggled. And clearly, I'm sure that this was also a challenge. Ek to COVID, the news itself was a huge challenge to absorb, but at the same time, you were in the business where you were one of the key pillars in supporting the new normal, right? How was that, Jill? If you could shed some light. And then I have one more question, and then I will refer to Aisha, sorry.
Okay, COVID made us realize that we need a much stronger digital infrastructure, जो कि पाकिस्तान में नहीं था. आज भी बहुत सारे हमारे students जो कि घरों से अपना homework और पढ़ाई करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, they are dependent on an internet connection which doesn't quite honestly exist in many parts of the country still. And the ones where it is, it's not as stable or as fast as the needs of the students are. So definitely COVID ने हमें कुछ uncomfortable realities से आगाह किया है. लेकिन जो मुझे उम्मीद थी, और ये जोक हमने भी सुना था कि you know, like who's responsible for your digital transformation, it would be COVID. I was hoping it would be COVID. हुआ ये है कि 2 महीने तक तो बहुत ज़्यादा था digital के ऊपर focus, लेकिन now the new normal is painfully beginning to look like the old normal when it comes to our digital adoption. So there was a lot of emphasis around technology and robustness and, you know, like increasing your penetration and providing handsets and all those things and online education and work from home. But as we have opened up for business starting today in many parts of the country, and I agree that for too long as a country, we can't really be working from home or living from home. मेरा ख्याल है कि जो एक initial impetus और energy मिली थी COVID की वजह से, वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता सेप आउट हो रही है. However, मेरा स्टिल ख्याल है कि ये इस किस्म का अगर आज ये मसला नहीं है, कल कोई और मसला हो सकता है. हमने सिर्फ कोविड की वजह से नहीं, लेकिन हमने अपने अगर मुल्क को आगे बढ़ाना है तो हमें अपना डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बेहतर करना है. आप किसी भी इंडस्ट्री को ले लें, उसके एंड पे आजकल अब टेक लगता है, फाइनेंस के आगे फिनटेक लग गया, एग्रीकल्चर के आगे, जो कि पाकिस्तान के 40% जो वर्क फोर्स है एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर काम करती है, 19% आपकी जीडीपी एग्रीकल्चर से आती है, एग्रीटेक हो गया। सो इंश्योरेंस में काम करेंगे, इंश्योर टेक होगा, प्रॉपर्टी में काम करेंगे, प्रॉपर्टी टेक हो जाएगा, ठीक है। एडवर्टाइजिंग में करेंगे, एड टेक हो जाएगा, एजुकेशन में करते हैं, एड टेक हो जाता है। हमने अगर लीप फ्रॉग करना है अपनी ब्रोकन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से, सो टेक्नोलॉजी की लेयर और ब्रॉडबैंड की लेयर और स्मार्टफोन्स की लेयर और डिजिटल की लेयर सारे इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए जरूरत है, फ्रॉम मेडिकल टू एनीथिंग एल्स दैट यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट. So with or without COVID, yes, COVID gave us a greater painful awareness that Pakistan is far behind. The sad part is that it did not really last too long. And now that we're coming back to a normal situation, even I see it in my own industry where the payments, online payments surged and now they're coming back. So many more people were doing their top-ups from mobile phones. But that has come down as retail shops have started opening up. So, and as soon as restaurants open up, the online food ordering will come down. So, and some of those things may be okay, which are behavioral, but some of those things I think we need as a country to have the infrastructure ready.
आपने सही कहा, बिहेवियर चेंज करना इतना आसान नहीं है, ओवरनाइट नहीं होगा, और probably it will take time, लेकिन consistent efforts and infrastructure readiness will pave the way. My last question before I ask Aisha, because there are questions pouring in from the audience from all sides, and we would like that we answer those as well. तो जब पिवट करना है तो क्या डायरेक्शन लेनी है, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है एक प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर के लिए, एक बिजनेस मैनेजर के लिए, एक लीडर के लिए डिसाइड करना. एंड देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स व्हिच यू लुक एट. सम आर इंटरनल, so in terms of experience, skills, social equity, customer base, the need for the business, and while some are looking outside the business in terms of competition, opportunities, etc. So what advice would you give? We have lots of startups here जिन्होंने कुछ ने पिवट किया कोविड से और कुछ ने फायदा उठाया और कुछ अभी भी उस फेज से गुजर रहे हैं और कुछ करना भी चाहते हैं. What area to look at? Is it always a mix of the external and internal factors?
I think so. Again, I don't think there's a cookie cutter answer for this thing. Eventually, when you're trying to do something, the question that needs to be asked is, what is the problem you're trying to solve, right? What is the gap? Your product or your service is hopefully going to fill a gap. That gap could be that the service doesn't exist, or it exists but in a poor shape, or it is not easy to access. So we have to be clear in our heads on why are we going into. Are you going to be a me too, and you're just going to do it at a lower cost? Or are you going to take the middleman out, which is what a lot of digital companies do, like from everything from Airbnb to bookings.com. We took the middle people out, gave better rates. This is what's happening in InsurTech. Insurance people will go away. All of a sudden the travel industry and insurance industries got disrupted. So when we start an idea, even whether it's for a big company, you have to think about a little bit with the end in mind. Where do you want to go with this thing? And I think that may not be a straightforward answer. It could be a market thing combined with any of your internal passions. So for example, in COVID, a number of things came up, like people switched off their regular factories and started making more masks. It was opportunistic. People could have gotten more onto home delivery because they realized people are not going to come. A number of people became chefs and started selling food from home. So there is certainly some value in that short-term opportunity creation. But those, in my opinion, may not necessarily be sustainable businesses because you're either going to become irrelevant when the crisis disappears or a new kind of crisis appears. And unless you are super agile, you may not always be able to take benefit from that. So one has to think about कि opportunisms के through आपने businesses चलानी है या कोई एक strong एक environment है जिसके through आपको ये चीजें भेजनी पड़ेंगी on an ongoing basis.
Thank you. Aisha, I'm sure these questions that are pouring in, you have selected some to ask. So over to you, Aisha. Ji.
And thank you, Amir, for that overview. We usually see jab I'm doing a live with Amir, a lot of people comment looking fresh. But for the first time, Fasi, those questions and those really nice comments are directed to you. So sorry आमिर, पहली दफा लाइव में आपका सारा अटेंशन जो है फसी की well dressed
I have been disrupted. See, there's a newer business model. There's a younger, fresher look, and that's the thing. Competition keeps on increasing.
So I wanted to start with that apology, Amir. Okay, sorry about that. I have some really interesting questions, and what I've done is I've divided it into 3 sections. So I'll start off with an overview of some of my favorite people who have made important points. So I'm doing a bit of editorialization. And then, Amir, there's a rapid fire and there's the detailed questions. And I'll give you a choice. Would you like to do the rapid fire at the end? It's going to be a little fast paced. We kind of get to see what's in your psychology thinking. Or would you like to answer the detailed questions first?
Asha, don't give me choices, just fire away.
All right. In that case, the first question, Shabazz Khan basically had a comment, not a question. He said, thank you for mentioning that Saraiki is indeed far more appreciated in our country than Western music, and that it's really important to give a voice to local languages. So he just wanted to appreciate you for mentioning that.
And Aisha, you remember many of the great musicians appeared from Lyari and also from Balochistan. And it was because of internet that they got highlighted, the amazing talent of rappers, for instance, which exists in those slums. And they've made it big, by the way, around the world.
Absolutely. And internationally as well, I think what we've seen is that a lot of the Coke Studio thing where brands identified digital technology and took our folk art internationally came from those really rural areas where those languages are far richer than English, frankly, you know. So Amir, any comment on that?
Okay, so we have to जो इंटरनेट का वर्ल्ड है ना, that is basically marketing के एक चीज होती है, उसको कहते हैं segments या segmentation. इंटरनेट और जो OTT का टाइप की कंपनीज हैं, this is basically going after the segment of one or one-on-one marketing where you really get to know who your customers are. So if we try to sell them one solution, we can't think कि वो सारे पाकिस्तान को वही गाना पसंद आएगा, वही म्यूजिक पसंद आएगा, वही वीडियो पसंद आएगा. So we have to keep on breaking it down into smaller things. And Pakistan benefits from having about 74 regional level languages. Now again, 10 of them are perhaps a lot more spoken. So we want to go to a level where there is relatability to a segment. And segments are defined in many different ways. You cut and slice and dice them in many different ways. But I think language segment is an important one. Habits and preferences segments are definitely very much influenced by where you've grown up, what your community is, and what your culture is. And if you try to sell them something, even if I were to do an amazing deal with Spotify, I don't think वो Rahim Yar Khan में या DG Khan में वो popular होएगा. क्योंकि वो उनके लिए relevant नहीं है. That's why the localization and hyper-localization becomes very important in some of our products.
For sure. Anam Ali basically asked a really important question. Doesn't really have to do much with the pivot discussion, but I think she's talking about the name pivoting, which is also linked to brand pivoting. And she says, why did you change the name Mobilink from Jazz? Because that's definitely your legacy, Amir.
It's not so much about legacy. There are 2 or 3 different reasons for that. In the telecom world, sub-brands have not really succeeded. Mobilink and Jazz was an example where a sub-brand actually became more prominent than the brand itself. So Mobilink was a corporate brand and used primarily for postpaid, whereas majority of our customers were prepaid and they had more relatability with Jazz. So that's one of the things. So it was really around that you can't justify the marketing spend on maintaining 2 brands. And that has actually never, unlike Procter & Gamble and Unilever, where you can actually create a very clear identity and lifestyle with certain products. In the telecom world, it starts gravitating towards the utility. So you have to pick one. Right? We could have stuck with Mobilink or we could have stuck with Jazz. And I think prior to my arrival, they actually got rid of Jazz. But when we found out from our customers, when I would go onto the street, and street I don't mean blue area, street I mean कि अगर आप जंग में फिर रहे हैं और दुकानों में आप जा रहे हैं जिधर आपके ज़्यादातर कस्टमर्स हैं और आप उनसे कहें कि मैं Mobilink से आया हूँ तो उनको नहीं पता चलता था. आप जाके कहें कि मैं Jazz से आया हूँ तो उनको पता चलता था. So that was one of the reasons. Also, as we pivot, Jazz is probably a little bit more expandable name in the technology world than Mobilink, which actually has a reference to mobile or links, which then becomes slightly more entrenched with what you did in the past, which was telecommunications.
Amir, I'm going to ask you I think the deeper questions first, and then rapid fire should be interesting to end with. I have taken this question from Twitter because you posted it there as well. How do you pivot from doing absolutely nothing to starting your startup?
That's a good one. I think that epiphany has to come from within you. There will be a trigger. I don't know. I've not been an entrepreneur myself, but I think the consciousness and the self-awareness has to come. I don't think, and like we keep on hearing all these talks about motivation. I think it's very difficult to motivate somebody else. Motivation is something that only comes from within you. You can hear and you can get influenced and you can get inspired, but motivation is something that only comes from within. So if it hasn't happened, just wait, it will happen.
This question is from Instagram, and you'll see that the quality of the questions are very linked to the platform it's on. So the second question is, how much hustle is needed in pivoting, Amir? And have you ever hustled before you became a big man or a bada aadmi?
Well, I'm not sure what they mean by hustle, but let's just call it effort. Pivot by definition is change. Change by definition is creating discomfort. So there will be hustle, there will be discomfort. And I think if there is not a significant amount of discomfort, then perhaps it's not really pivot. So I think we have to be conscious that good things only happen if you actually are willing to take a risk. And one of the biggest risks is giving up the status quo or the comfort woolly environment that you're in, whether it's in a careers perspective. And I've come across many people in their lives and they come and now seek advice as I sought advice from other people. And sometimes we have an aspiration to be somebody or to have a certain job, but we don't want to give up the place where we live or the organization or the city. And I think that's where the disconnect comes in. If you're not willing to sacrifice, if you're not willing to put in that effort, that discomfort of being dislodged, of being in a different country, of going back to school, or working in a different department where you don't really have your credibility established already, then I think it's an unfair ask to actually be somewhere else. You have to put in the effort in your career, in your life, to be able to achieve something. And I think that's really important to recognize that this pivoting will not come without that hustle and that hassle.
Prem has asked a really good question. He's presently in China watching you from there. His full name is Prem Thapamgar. And he says 99% of China today is all online, it's all digital, all payments are digital. What is it with Pakistan? Can Pakistan pivot into that?
Well, I think it's more of a required evolution. And China has done a really good job, whether it's with Alipay or with WeChat and the QR codes, they have really gone cashless. And, that's actually helped eliminate corruption, which is a big problem in Pakistan, because corruption normally happens when you're not transparent. With digital transactions, you always leave your fingerprints on a transaction. That's why it's so important, not just from a technological evolution perspective, but also what we want to do as a country. Sadly enough, only about 7 or 8% of all of our transactions in terms of volume are actually done digitally in Pakistan, when you include both the documented and undocumented economy. So there's a huge amount of transactions in value and volume that happen through cash. And I think there are a whole bunch of problems with that thing. So I don't think it's only a question of pivoting. I think it's what we need to survive and to thrive as a country. And companies like Jazz, through Jazz Cash, are trying to help, but it also requires sensible governmental interventions by changing certain policies and making sure that digital payments are cheaper than cash. Otherwise, अगर cash सस्ता होगा तो लोग cash पे ही करेंगे, क्योंकि cash एक habit होती है, payment एक habit है. आपने note निकाल के देना है, वो एक habit है. उस habit को change करने के लिए जब आप दूसरी habit लगाएंगे, it has to be easier, it has to be faster, it has to be cheaper. And that's what we're trying to do with Jazz Cash.
Right. We're going to take a detour into the trolling section of Twitter. Somebody has asked, are you the CEO of Nike or are you the CEO of Jazz? We'll.
Sorry, Jazz. You get the opposite thing.
All right. So the next question, Amr, I think is really important. This is from one of our question lists. They say if you haven't become a new person every year in the digital world, that you are pretty much dead. Or that you're not evolving, you're not growing, you're already old. And they've asked, what are the things that you did last year that you no longer do this year?
Last year, I was going to the office. No, on a serious note, I think the observation is valid. You have to constantly keep on, not necessarily fully reinvent, but when it comes to education and learning, you have to recognize, and we all have to recognize, that education is not a one-time experience, right, that you do in college. It's a lifetime commitment. And with that approach, you have to be aware and self-conscious about what is happening around you. And you start picking up things. So for example, I'm learning a lot more about analytics. I thought I didn't know enough about it, and that's where the world is moving towards. So I'm taking courses, I'm having more discussions with my analytics team because I need to increase my awareness and understanding of what's happening in that thing. If I were to continuously keep on learning more about how to sell more SIMs and build more towers, that's the world from yesterday. But for me, at a personal level, I'm pivoting, learning more about some of the digital products and digital services. So I spent the last 3-4 years on financial services and digital financial services. And now I want to learn more about analytics, because I think that's where you actually go towards as we evolve as a company. So difficult to answer that question most in terms of what am I not doing, but certainly I have increased my discussion and self-awareness and learning around analytics and big data and data in general.
Somebody wants to, again, from our NIC startups, is asking, can you please give us examples of 1 or 2 Pakistani startups from NIC that you really liked the idea of their pivot? And I know you've invested in some ideas as well, and you support some inclusion tech as well. So any of your favorites they want you to point out? I know it's difficult, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I know them enough to see whether they've pivoted or not, but one of the ideas that I genuinely quite like is DevTalk, and I think that's an environment, and it just started from a little bit of let's try to do a basic thing, and it started evolving, and they got some funding from GrantCo, and they're scaling up, and I think when we talked about what is the need and what is the gap, I think they clearly identified the gap. And now they're also pivoting in terms of offering translation services, which wasn't part of their earlier mandate. So, DevTalk is a company that creates an app where people with hearing and speaking disability or those who are differently abled can still, thrive in a normal work environment. And then they realized that in countries like Singapore, you're paying about $70, $80 per hour for an interpreter. And this particular app could have actually serviced that thing. So there's a cost advantage over there. So that's one of the companies that I'm quite fond of and that I admire a lot.
It was really nice to work in tandem with NIC, with the Jazz Accelerate and the sustainability wing from our end to get the GrantCo funding. And it just shows collaboration between both government and private sector, which was a win-win. Amir, are you ready for the rapid fire? A rule of rapid fire is that you can't think about it, right? And it has to be your sort of bias that comes through, all right? So I have about 5 to 6 questions. Should I go ahead?
Go ahead.
And these are all questions that have asked. I've just made it a little simpler in terms of rapid fire. When it comes to pivoting, incremental or big leaps?
Big league.
Number 2, fintech / jazz tech versus gaming, if you were ever to choose the pivot.
Sorry, fintech versus?
So fintech and jazz tech, basically jazz cash, sorry, versus gaming. What would you go into in a big way? If you
fintech.
Failure versus success as a percentage of everybody's life. What's the ideal? How much failure should you have versus how much success?
80% failure.
Risk versus caution. What percentage of risk should an entrepreneur have versus what percentage of caution?
I'd just say 80% again.
Passion versus money.
Always passion.
Big data versus smart cities, if you had to pivot Jazz.
Big data.
Luck versus hard work.
Hard work, but luck is very important also.
5G versus strengthening 4G for Jazz.
Strengthening 4G.
Rural versus urban focus for development for Jazz.
Rural.
Pivot versus diversifying.
Depends, but for me, it is more diversifying for the journey we're in.
Blockchain versus no blockchain.
No blockchain.
Okay, all right. So all these answers deserve, I think, a paragraph of an explainer. But we'll catch you perhaps in the responses section, and we will continue this discussion. Over to you, Fasi, and thank you, Amir, for your answers.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Amir. वैसे बात सही है, जो रैपिड फायर था ना, इसमें काफी ज्यादा चीजें पर्सनालिटी के सामने आती हैं कि what you think, what you are biased with or not. Good to know all those preferences and great insights. Since we had lots and lots of questions, and अगर आप किसी question का जवाब देना भी चाहें, so you can feel free to answer it in the Q&A section. But मैं सिर्फ पहले तो ये पूछूंगा कि there are so many startups and young ones who are watching us, who look up to you as an icon when it comes to digitalization in the country, and they are asking right now for advice. 2-3 किस्म की advice है. पहली तो ये कि कौन से वो areas हैं entrepreneurs जो इस वक्त pursue कर रहे हैं. एक question था किसी का इधर, which areas to go into, कहाँ research करें, कौन से areas हैं जो इस वक्त ज़्यादा profitable या growth पे जाएंगे या जहाँ demand ज़्यादा है in terms of technology areas. पहला तो आपसे सवाल ये है.
देखिए, अगर हम मुल्क को देखें और देखें कि गैप्स किधर हैं, जिस तरह फिनटेक अगर आप ले सकते हैं, तो फिनटेक में गैप किधर है? आपके मर्चेंट्स जो हैं उनके लिए ऑन बोर्डिंग करना आसान नहीं है. अगर APIs खोल दिए हैं कंपनीज लाइक जैज़ कैश ने और इजी पैसा ने, क्या ऐसी चीज़ें हम ऑफर कर सकते हैं कि इकोसिस्टम डेवलप करने के लिए? बिकॉज सारी चीज़ें जैज़ कैश नहीं कर सकता और टेलेनॉर बैंक नहीं कर सकता. अगर फिनटेक में देखना, और सिर्फ एक पेमेंट गेटवे नहीं है, अगर इकोसिस्टम को समझा जाए तो आप ये समझें कि इस वक्त परेशानी किधर है, एक मर्चेंट के लिए और एक कस्टमर के लिए. अगर उसको ब्रेक करके देखा जाए कि किस तरह, हाउ कैन यू हेल्प, राइट? अगेन आई गो बैक टू what is the problem we're trying to solve, and then also look at what are the bigger trends in the country. So if there is going to be evolution towards digital payments, and if you want to ride that thing, then try to figure out what are the different gaps. I'll give you perhaps a slightly not so fancy an example, but if smartphones are going to increase, maybe people will get into creating earphones or covers, and they can start thinking about that. I will ride at the back of this thing. Now covers and headphones and accessories may not always be made by the likes of Samsungs and Huawei's. They would be made by other companies. So if you identify an industry which is going to be on the take, then think about what are the other peripheral things that will be required in that industry or that ecosystem development, and then identify 1 or 2 areas and then go and develop your products around those.
ठीक है जी. एक और सवाल है, जो young ones who are starting and just launching their careers, any advice that you would like to give to them? What to do, who to look up to, कहाँ जाएं, किससे mentoring करें या support लें?
देखिए, अब तो माशाल्लाह बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइज चीज़ें बन गई हैं. हमारे ज़माने में मेंटरिंग सिर्फ ये होती थी that you liked somebody, you trusted and you had a relationship with, in terms of either an uncle or a senior colleague, and you sought their advice. Now there are platforms, I believe, there's a platform like Launchpad that you guys are also participating and supporting. I think these are the platforms where people can go and in a low risk environment ask some questions which they otherwise would feel uncomfortable raising their hand, and किससे जाके advice ली जाए. So मेरा ख्याल है एक तो plethora of information है on various channels. If you want to Google anything, you will get 10 articles. But sometimes it's better to talk to somebody who has been in that journey, operated in that environment, and that answer may be a lot more authentic than a Quora answer developed by somebody somewhere else in the world. So understanding the context and having a human dialogue is really important. So, platforms like Launchpad could be very invaluable in terms of guiding students or people who are finishing colleges or those who are just in their 1st or 2 years of a career. I think that real life mentoring cannot be replaced by any digital tool.
Thank you, Amir. मैंने सबके लिए वैसे जिसका करियर लॉन्चपैड का जिक्र कर रहे हैं, इट्स अ फेलोशिप प्रोग्राम बाय टीम अप, मैंने उसका लिंक चैट में भी शेयर कर दिया, teamup.pk/launchpad. Thank you, Amir. For me, it was a wonderful conversation. There is so much that you have to offer for us to learn from, and it's amazing. And very, very rightly said that 80% failure वाली बात. अगर इंसान बहुत सारे failures और बहुत सारे obstacles और hurdles ना cross करे, तो इतनी wisdom और इतनी depth learning मेरे लिए सबसे अच्छी चीज, बिफोर आई रिक्वेस्ट नाउ आयशा टू गिव अ समरी ऑफ द डिस्कशन, जो मेरे लिए टेक अवे था कि इवन नाउ एट whatever position you are, whatever leadership positions one is in, and you've demonstrated, you're moving on to learning new things and you're not reluctant. You said you're learning about analytics, you're doing courses. This is amazing. Okay, one keeps on, pushing the boundaries. So very nice to see that. Over to you, Aisha.
Thank you, Fasi. And I think maybe everybody can mute their mics. So I'll start with the most obvious summary, which is that if you want to be a successful CEO, you need to understand cricket analogy really well. So, with the whole put all of your most important effort in the first part of your innings, not in the last, So go full guns blazing with your expertise, with your talents in the beginning of what you have, because that's when you have most energy. I think Amir ka ye bhi point tha that to create digital unicorns, you need to achieve scale. Most importantly, I think don't just rely on what you have in terms of desk research, go down to grassroots. And again, I loved the quote that he said, where he said, grassroots does not mean blue area. It really means junk. It really means quetas, peripheries, etc. That is where the heart of Pakistan beats. And that's where you should be understanding how to serve your customers. Rural pe focus hai, because that's again where the expansion and the growth is. He also said, I think that do your research well enough to know ke auxiliary fields kaun si aapke core area mein. He talked about the importance of an ecosystem. So it's not just doing one thing right, but doing everything holistically around it. The importance of mentors, but also the importance of willing to learn and do the hard work from that mentors. It's not just taking the advice, it's also doing the work, and that's where most CEOs fail. Passion, I think, is a very important aspect, Amir, that you brought in. And I think that's something that cannot be ignored. Add tech on every area of your expertise. I think, Amir, you were very clear on that. Ki aapka agriculture area hai, aapka gender inclusion area hai, communication hai, whatever it is, put a tech impact on it so that it can, again, go back to the achieving scale impact. Pivots are not necessary. I think you talked about that as well. Just because we have a fancy term called a pivot doesn't mean Pakistan mein sare utke pivot karna shuru ho jaye. You need to understand if you need to or not and when to do it. I think that's already in the presentation, so I don't need to summarize that. He talked about the importance of authenticity as a leader. And I think lastly, and most importantly, the importance of human connection. So Amir, have I done justice to your summary? And if I left anything out, please add.
No, that's a good summary, Aisha. I would just, perhaps, if I can conclude, I would just add one or two things.
Yeah, please do.
Enjoy the journey. I think that's important. Life is a journey, and yes, we are at times obsessed with the destination. And it may be contrary to the topic du jour, which is about pivoting to get to that destination. But I think as human beings, we have to constantly keep on enjoying the journey and let the water create its own path. Or if I were to use one more cricket analogy, I would just say that keep your eyes on the ball and keep on scoring the runs. Don't always keep on looking at the scoreboard. So it's important to play the game and be present in the moment. And as long as you're enjoying the journey, who cares where you end up? So that's all from my side.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I believe great words and what a great message to end the conversation today. But this is a series of so many interesting talks that we will continue to have. I thank everyone in the audience who joined us today here on Zoom, on Facebook, and other platforms that we were live at. And thank you so much, Amir. As usual, it's such a pleasure. And thank you so much, Aisha, as well. I believe you summed it up so nicely. And I love the unicorn in the background, by the way. I wanted to say this once we went live as well. Sorry, Aisha, I'm muted. So, yeah. No, good choice. No worries.
when I started off, I was taking the unicorn off, and Fasi said that that's very strategic. So keep it there.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Take care. It's a wrap from our side. We'll be posting the video online on YouTube shortly. Do watch that and do share with others. Thank you. The Hafiz.